Why does a hummingbird's heart beat 1,200 times a minute? Right now, somewhere outside your window, there's a heart beating faster than anything you've ever felt in your chest. Not during a sprint, not during a panic attack, not even during the scariest moment of your life. 20 times a second. That's not a typo. 20 beats, every single second, inside a body that weighs less than a penny. We're talking about the hummingbird. And before you assume this is just, oh, it's a small animal, small things have fast hearts, hold that thought, because the real answer is so much stranger than size. I'm Wild Genome, and today, we're cracking open one of the most extreme organs in the animal kingdom. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your own heart, no matter how fit you are, could never survive what a hummingbird does every single day of its life, and why evolution had to break almost every normal rule of biology to make this possible. Let's start with a number that should already make you uncomfortable. A resting human heart beats somewhere between 60 and 100 times a minute. Push your body to its absolute limit. Full sprint, lungs burning, vision blurring, and an elite athlete might touch 200 beats per minute, maybe, for a few seconds, before their body starts screaming at them to stop. A hummingbird's heart, during flight, beats up to 1,200 times per minute. Sit with that. That's not double the human max. That's not triple. That's 6 times faster than the most conditioned human heart on Earth can survive. And the hummingbird isn't doing this for 3 seconds before collapsing. It's doing this for hours, every day, for its entire life. So here's the question that should be bothering you right now. Why doesn't its heart just explode? To answer that, we need to go inside the chest of a bird that weighs about as much as a ping pong ball. A hummingbird's heart is proportionally the largest heart of any bird on the planet, up to 2.5% of its total body weight. For comparison, your heart is about 0.5% of your body weight. If a human heart scaled the way a hummingbird's does, you'd be walking around with something the size of a bowling ball sitting in your ribcage. But size alone doesn't explain the speed. This is where it gets interesting. Inside that tiny heart, the muscle fibers are packed with something most other animals simply don't have in the same density: mitochondria. If you remember anything from biology class, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. In a hummingbird's heart muscle, mitochondria can take up nearly half the cell's volume. Half. In human heart cells, that number is closer to 30 to 40%, and that's already considered high. More mitochondria means more oxygen can be converted into usable energy, instantly, without delay. It's the difference between a car engine that needs a few seconds to build up power and one that's already redlining the moment you touch the gas. But energy production is only half the puzzle. You can have all the fuel in the world. It means nothing if you can't deliver it fast enough. And this is where the hummingbird's circulatory system pulls off something almost unfair. Their heart doesn't just beat faster, it beats with a different rhythm structure entirely. Human hearts have a built-in electrical delay between the top chambers and the bottom chambers, so blood fills completely before the next pump. It's efficient, but it's slow. A hummingbird's heart minimizes that delay almost to nothing, allowing chambers to refill and contract in a rapid, almost overlapping sequence. It's less like a drumbeat and more like a machine gun. And here's a curiosity gap you probably didn't expect. This insane heart rate isn't even the most extreme number in a hummingbird's body. Their wings beat up to 80 times per second in some species. Their breathing rate during flight can hit 250 breaths per minute. Every system in their body is operating in a state that, in a human, would be classified as a medical emergency. For a hummingbird, it's Tuesday. So why does the body need to go this extreme in the first place? The answer is brutal. Hovering flight is one of the most metabolically expensive things any animal can do. Unlike most birds, which glide or use air currents to save energy, hummingbirds fight gravity directly, every second, suspended in midair by pure muscular effort. To fuel that, their metabolism runs at a rate roughly 10 times higher than a similarly sized mammal. 10 times higher. That's not an upgrade. That's an entirely different category of biology. But here's the twist that makes this story even more incredible. And this is where most videos stop, but we're not done yet. If a hummingbird ran this system 24 hours a day, it would starve to death. Even feeding constantly on nectar, Its fuel reserves can run out in a matter of hours. So at night, or during cold snaps when food is scarce, hummingbirds do something that sounds almost impossible for a creature built for extremes. They shut almost everything down. It's called torpor. Their heart rate can crash from 1,200 beats per minute to as low as 50. Their body temperature can drop by over 20 degrees Celsius. They essentially become a different animal for a few hours, conserving just enough energy to survive until sunrise. Without this trick, most hummingbird species simply wouldn't exist. The same heart capable of the fastest rhythm in the bird world is also capable of nearly stopping entirely, on command, every single night. Now compare that to us. If a human heart rate dropped that dramatically, that fast, it wouldn't be considered adaptive. It would be considered a cardiac arrest. What saves a hummingbird's life would kill a person in minutes. This is the part that should really change how you see this animal. A hummingbird's heart isn't just fast. It's flexible in a way human physiology has no answer for. Capable of redlining past anything we could survive, and then, hours later, slowing to a near stop that would be a medical crisis in our own bodies. Two extremes, same organ, same day. So could a human heart ever be trained to do something like this? The honest answer, backed by everything we know about cardiac physiology, is no. Human heart muscle isn't built with that mitochondrial density. Our electrical conduction system isn't designed for that firing rate. And our thermoregulation doesn't allow for controlled, safe torpor. This isn't a matter of training harder or getting fitter. It's a difference baked into the cellular architecture of the organ itself. Which brings us back to where we started. That number, 1,200 beats per minute, isn't just a fun fact to impress people at dinner. It represents millions of years of evolutionary pressure, solving one of the hardest problems. In the animal kingdom, how do you power a body, doing the aerodynamic equivalent of a helicopter, using a size of body that has almost no room for extra machinery? The hummingbird's answer was to rebuild the rules of what a heart is capable of, pushing it to a limit no mammal could survive, then pulling it back from the edge every single night, just to do it all again the next day. Next time you see one of these tiny birds hovering by a flower, remember what's actually happening inside that flash of color and motion. A heart working harder, faster, and more efficiently than anything evolution has produced in a body its size. A heart living permanently on the edge of what's biologically possible.